Hey friends, Dustin here, and what did I just do? Well, I was looking for about the ugliest car for less than $500 at the local auction, and I went to the local Copart salvage auction and found this 1987 Chrysler LeBaron Town & Country with the wood grain. Oh, she's a beauty. It's clearly fake wood grain. Yeah, that's plastic. Although it looks like it has a nice fade, like the clear coat's peeling off or something. And then this inner panel's a sticker. Hey, this thing's low mileage. This thing's only got 82,000 on it. And this is just a seat cover, actually. There's actually really nice cloth seats underneath there, so those will be coming off. Smells slightly of cat. Kind of gross. But we won this car for only $375. Might end up going into some local races, you know, like Rambler, like the Rambler 500. It might end up in the Rambler 500. We might paint it up into a theme car. I'm thinking like National Lampoons. We'll do the green and the extra lights and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, do the Rambler and the Gambler 500s that both are in Colorado now. If you guys don't know what those are, go check them out on YouTube. Just type in Gambler 500. Kind of gives you tons of videos out there of people doing that, and it's basically an endurance challenge. It's on and off road for $500 or less cars, and this would meet that qualification. I've got an old battery on the charger, so we're going to slide that in here and see if we can get her cranked over. But we're checking everything else out, making sure the timing belts and stuff's good. I haven't checked the fluids yet. Let's check that out. Oh yeah, there's some sludge touching the bottom of the dipstick. That'll work. See about the radiator here. Oh, bone dry. Perfect. That's what you really want. Brake fluid. Looks like that's leaking. Yeah, there's some in there. How about over here? Power steering fluid. That might have touched the dipstick at one point in time. That's a little low. We might top that one off. Yeah. Got the intake off. I was just checking the throttle body and stuff. This is kind of a bad design for a turbo engine. It's called a draw-through turbo. So basically the throttle body's in front of the turbo inlet, and then the turbo goes into the engine. That's not what you want for making power. That's for sure. It's not a very good design. Tranny fluid, not black and full. Clearly not the battery that belongs in this car. These terminals aren't great, but yeah, definitely not great. Oh, looks like we're going back to the future. Let's crank on it. So, fire it up, kinda. I wonder if there's anything in the fuel tank. Whew. We'll cycle the fuel pump a few times here. There you have it, guys. We got a starting point. I'm gonna go get some fuel. See if that'll do it. That's a good start. Good start. Alright, got our hammer here. Oh, look underneath the car. There's the fuel tank. You see the plug and the wires on the left. That's our fuel pump. Now it helps if you're turning the key on while you're tapping on it. But since it's just me, I'm not gonna do that. Hey, look how mostly rust-free the bottom of this car is, from considering it's from 1987. Guys, she's a gem. If we can get it started. Let's... All right, friends, it's a couple days later. I did decide that it was the fuel pump on this thing that was not allowing it to start. So I went ahead and ordered one of those up. Of course, nobody had one on the shelf. I got it. I just got it in. I was gonna film that, but my hands were covered in gas and stuff. Didn't really want to grab the camera for it, but fairly simple install on these ones. Tanks in the rear, fuel pumps in the tank. You don't have to take the whole tank out. You can lower the tank by loosening the straps, and it kind of just tilts the tank down a little bit. Then you knock the ring out and pull the pump right out. Pretty easy. So yeah, that should be all fixed up and ready to go. Got the new pump dropped in, got it all hooked up. Got the fuel filter off of it right now. I was gonna go get a new one, but the nearest one is in Salt Lake City, Utah. Which I thought was pretty weird for a fuel filter. That's the closest I could get one. And it would be, you know, like 3 days from now before I had it. So I decided not to go that route. Took the old filter off. It was still flowing, so I put some seafoam in the filter, let it sit, and then I blew it out with the air compressor. It seems to be flowing pretty good now. I think we're getting ready to fire it up, so I went ahead and I grabbed some oil. Just doing a little oil change right now. Just put the new filter on, just got it all drained out, starting to fill it back up. That's the Lucas heavy duty oil stabilizer. Anyway, I use that stuff all the time, and I'm not being paid by them, not being promoted or anything. I'm just saying I've used that stuff in all my cars for years, and I've never had a motor blow up. Well, I had one motor blow up, but I've had a lot of cars, guys, and considering the kind of stuff I buy, that's pretty good. Well, hope it enjoys its oil change, since it hasn't had one since 2005. Let's crank on her. Oh, that's running. Has oil pressure. To be fair, it's the first time it's run in probably several years. Yeah, we got a pretty major fuel leak on the rail. Happen to have some 3/8 fuel line laying around, so we replace that hose that goes to the regulator there. Jump in and crank on her again, see what happens. Car's only gone 4,000 miles since 2005. Blow a little bit of the cobwebs out of her. Oh yeah, numbers look good here. Looks like we're about at operating temperature now. Alternator must be charging. That voltage looks good on that. It's about 14, I'd guess. We're right in the middle of the scale for our oil pressure too. I've decided the air conditioner does not work, but the heater does, so that's cool. I gotta go warm up this tranny and these brakes, get a fresh cut on them. Doesn't like stopping and going again. My guess is these old tanks I don't think had enough baffles for the fuel, so you get fuel slosh and then you get a little bubble in there. I remember that with some of my older Chrysler products. I wouldn't call it fast. I'll take her out on the road. This thing rides like a marshmallow. I'm sure the suspension's shot in it. A weird little rattly noise up front. Maybe it has a CV axle. Glides over stuff in a very lumpy, unsatisfied suspension manner. It's pretty awful. Smooth, but awful. Anyway, guys, this thing appears to be going okay. A couple problems, but it's out driving around, so goodness. Not too bad. So guys, I'm gonna end it off there. I got some cool stuff I'm gonna do with this car, actually. I know it's really dumb, but yeah, I think I'm gonna use it in this year's Rambler and the Gambler 500. Should be a perfect car for that. And you know, meets all the criteria of probably going to break down less than $500. Will it survive 500 miles? We'll find out. Anyways, thanks for watching me work on this crazy stuff, guys. Really appreciate it when you guys watch the channel, watch all the videos, subscribe, like, comment, and even share on your social media platforms what we're doing. We got a lot more updates on the house and the tiny house coming up here pretty soon. You know, crazy summertime storms are coming, so we'll be doing some filming of those. A bunch of project cars. I just picked up 2 more from auction. I think we got some boat stuff coming up too. So we got a lot of fun stuff coming up on the channel, so I appreciate you guys so much for watching. God bless you. We'll see you next time.